All right, welcome to Lab 8. This one is about files. So let's go over it. I have quite a few things in the starter code, but most of it isn't code. There's a lot of text files, all right, including the complete works of Shakespeare. So that'll be fun. So yeah, the first example, the first file program that I want you to write works like this. I want you to count the words in a file that is given to you through command line arguments. All right, so you're going to run your program, you're going to give the name of the file you want to search through, and then you're going to give the word that you want to search in that file, and then you'll go and count how many times that word appears. All right, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, you're going to use command line arguments to get that stuff, and I think it will be fun. So that's the countwords.cpp program. You will want to clean up the word that you're trying to count, though. All right, so you're going to read from a file, but every word that you read, it might be like, if you want to count all the times that Shakespeare says thou in his complete works, you might have thou appearing at the end of a sentence, right, with a period at the end. It might be at the start of a sentence with a capital T. You want to count all of those as thou, right? So you're going to have to clean up every word that you see, as well as the input. Like, if somebody types all caps thee, you should search for, like, lowercase thee and, like, lowercase everything that you see. So I've made a function that will help you with that, all right? That will help explain this. So yeah, your goal is you've been given a program, or you've been given a file in argv of not 0 but 1. There's your file. Go get it and start reading from it. All right, and then the string you want to look for is the next thing, argv of 2. Okay, and yeah, you're going to want to clean up that string as well as every word that you see. So you're going to start counting after that. Use string to search for in the file that you're looking into, but go and search for that string in the file and keep track of how many times it appears. All right. You will want to use this fixed string function, though. All right. You'll want to use this. It'll take a string by reference and mess with it, so that you can always count every time you see thou or thee or thine or whatever you're trying to search for. You should clean up every string you see and you're trying to look at, including the input. So, for example, like you want to consider all these, right? That, and even that to be the. Does that make sense? So just start throwing away all the non-alphabetic characters. That's what CC type is for. And then also lowercase everything that you see. So like you're cleaning up the string so that you can easily find it again, okay? Or easily match it with your string to search for. Does that make sense? That's what this is for. So like clean up your string so that like all of these turn into the lowercase. Do you see that? So yeah, take advantage of that and even do it on your string to search for just in case the user types it in weird. And that's what I want to see. Apparently, Shakespeare says thou 5,485 times. Okay, so that's your first program. And then your next one is not really something that you have to do too much on. It's something that I've given you a library, and I want you to use the library. All right, so the library revolves around an Etch-a-Sketch, the idea of an Etch-a-Sketch. Hopefully you've seen one of these. This was from my childhood. Maybe it's from yours too, but like you turn these knobs, and it makes either horizontal lines or straight line or vertical lines. And if you turn them correctly at the same time, then you can start making curves and like you shake it to undo, and like your beautiful work of art goes away. But that's an Etch-a-Sketch. Look it up because I've made a library that functions like an Etch-a-Sketch. All right, Etch-a-Sketch.h and Etch-a-Sketch.cpp. It's simulating an Etch-a-Sketch. You don't even need to look at the .cpp file. You don't even need to look at it because you're just going to use it. All right, it's already been made. So all the stuff that you need to look at is the header file. That's how you can use an Etch-a-Sketch object. All right, so I've given you the class definition. You get to use, as the user of the library, all the public stuff. All right, so like you can make an Etch-a-Sketch object that like makes marks on the terminal with a certain character. We'll do star for default, and then like it'll go. You can tell the Etch-a-Sketch to move left, right, up, or down, and it will draw a pretty picture. And you can get the artwork by using this get artwork method. And then the rest of this you don't even get to worry about. You're not messing with it. All right, it's part of the implementation. Look at the CPP file if you want to, but all you need to do is use this Etch-a-Sketch object. All right, and that's my goal for you. And yeah, hopefully like makes sense. Like go left, go right, go up, go down. You're going to use that library in this read and draw.cpp file. All right, so here's this one. This is what you're going to work on, and it's going to use the library. All right, it's going to include the library and use it. And your goal is to, again, somebody's doing it like this, right? They're going to give you a file when you run your program. They're going to give you a file as a command line argument, and those files will be a sequence of commands. So like go right, go up, go left, go down. Does that make sense? Like input 1, go left. Some of these are like invalid characters, but like U means up, left means, L means left, D means down, R means right. But sometimes there might be stray characters. You'll want to get rid of those and not worry about them. All right, so every valid character in the commands files are L, R, U, and D, all lowercase. That means go left, go right, go up, go down. You'll use that, like when you see an L, you'll command your Etch-a-Sketch, you'll tell it, you'll make an object and be like, all right, dot left to move it left. Does that make sense? That's what you're going to be doing. And yeah, everything else is invalid and should be skipped. So your goal is to read through like input files that are made to define pretty works of art, like these input files that I've made for you. So read them, get rid of any, or just like don't process any characters. You're gonna read them character by character, right? Just don't process the characters that are not valid, and like use the rest to command your Etch-a-Sketch object that you've made. Okay, you gotta make one, and then tell it to move based on the contents of the file. All right, everything else, invalid characters, you just skip them. All right. And then after that, you've built up in your Etch-a-Sketch object a pretty picture. You got to get it out, right? There's a method for that. Go look in the header file and see if you can figure out how to use it, okay, to print it back out. So apparently, if you do input1.txt, I made that say hi, okay? It's like it's doing all the commands to move left, right, up, and down from the starting position to draw hi, all right? I think input 0 is like a box, and then input 2 is like a house. So enjoy the pretty pictures that I have made, and then also make some of your own if you want to test some more. I think it's fun. And then yeah, that's all that you're working on. So you're just using the library. You got to compile with it, of course, but you don't have to touch that CPP file. Just this one, just read and draw. All right, you're using the library that I've already made for you. All right, so look at the header file, see how to use it, and yeah, again, you're using command line arguments to read the contents of that file. So I think that was all for both parts. Please yell at me if you have any questions. Keep track of that due date, but those are the two files that you're turning in, your count words file and your read and draw file. Everything else, don't mess with, because you're going to get tested with the original version. So like the Etch-a-Sketch library. Don't mess with the Etch-a-Sketch library. You're not turning that in. You're getting tested with the default. All right? So I think that's everything. And yeah, that is your Lab 8. Let me know if you have any questions.